عمدي عصاير بالكلمات بلشت شربك فاتت ببعض اللغات تحكيني عربك عمدي عصاير بالكلمات بلشت شربك فاتت ببعض اللغات لندن نصبك فرنسا هيك وهيك باردون بعد إذنك عمرك عالقربك
أنا كل شي بحكي.
Hello, hello. Good evening. How's everybody? Thank you for joining. Hello, Sahla. I hope you enjoyed the music in the background. We're still waiting for more to attend, but we're going to get started. And they can join us as they come in. Let me start off by welcoming everybody for joining us. We're glad that I see some familiar faces who are regulars and some new to this. So welcome, whether you're regular or new to these virtual talks. We do this every month. Every month we have a different topic, different speaker. And today we're pleased to have with us Mrs. Michelle El Tager, who will be talking to us about a journey into the Arabic language, past, present, and future. She's very passionate about the Arabic language, and she's going to be sharing with us some interesting information and also some great insight into the Arabic language in general. So with that, I would like to, just as a reminder on how we run these sessions, basically it's an hour and a half, give or take. There's a presentation by the speaker for around 45 minutes or so, maybe less, maybe more, but around that, and it will be followed by any questions that you may have. Please stay on mute as usual, so we can avoid background noise. And when the floor is open for questions, feel free to raise your hand in Zoom or ask the question in chat. I'll get to it in order, and of course, this is recorded, as we always do for those who miss it and would like to watch it in the future. Okay, so let me introduce you now to our speaker. Michelle has been working in the international environment for more than 30 years. She has extensive experience both in legal and education fields. She is the founder and manager of a nonprofit organization, Alefb. It's a multicultural center located here in Washington, D.C., as well as in San Francisco, and also in Paris, in France, specialized in teaching and promoting the Arabic language and culture to children, and she's been doing this since 1996. In this framework, she wrote and published children books and sold it for fundraising purposes for the benefit of SEAL, which stands for Social and Economic Action for Lebanon. It's a nonprofit organization based in New York. Michelle is an executive director of LebNet. It's also a nonprofit organization grouping all Lebanese professionals in high tech in Northern America. She is, as an active member, Michelle served on the board of the French International School in WDC for 6 years, the French American Culture Society in San Francisco for 3 years. And she's also currently the chairwoman of the Arab Film and Media Institute. I think that's also based in San Francisco in California. Michelle holds a master's degree in law from the Université de Paris, #2 in France, a mediation diploma from UC Berkeley, and a leadership certificate in the field of teaching foreign languages from Stanford World Language Project. Michelle lived and worked in 3 different continents and is currently putting her skills and experience and work as a consultant for USAID, World Bank, and other NGOs in the field of human development, managing Alefb, and working on the development of an online project-based learning program to teach Arabic as a foreign language to all. I will stop here, and I will turn this over to Michelle to walk us through her presentation and share with us her passion and insight on the Arabic language. So Michelle, it's all yours. And I will stop sharing, so I know you have to share as well. So
yeah, so thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amit, for this introduction. Thank you for having me as a speaker to your community. I'm really I do appreciate that very much. I have been working with ADS in DC and San Francisco also through through Alefb when we had on-site classes, but now we are all online. So we are providing those Arabic classes online everywhere in the world. Thank you all for being here. I will start sharing my screen and my presentation.
الخير يا جماعة. Hello. مساء الخير.
مساء النور.
أهلين، مساء النور.
سوري على التأخير صراحة، راح عن بالي هلا تذكرت فدغري ركضت.
It's okay, no problem. We just started.
مش مشكلة. هلا بلشنا. بعدنا مبلشين.
يلا شكرا كتير. بس خليني حط
ميشيل بدك تحطيها you want to put it on slideshow ولا yeah, okay, I see what you're doing.
Okay, yeah.
There you go.
Right.
Yep, I see it. Yep.
So yeah, as Amit said, this is going to be a conversation around the Arabic language, an interactive conversation to engage on the necessity of passing on our language and our culture. I am in no way an expert in history or in linguistics, but I will try my best to go through the origin of the Arabic language. It's the origin, the past, the present, and the future of it. And during this journey, we will have interactions all along, I hope, and we will try to learn educational, of course, facts, and I will give you a lot of tips and tricks also on how we can keep that language alive with our kids. So, marhaba. مرحبا.
يا أهلين، مرحبتين.
We're going to do a quick poll here, and you will just answer in the chat if you speak Arabic or not, yes or no, using your reaction button to answer the chat, to answer this question in the chat. موافقين? Thank you.
The reaction button at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a button called reaction. If you click on it, see buttons for yes and no. Yes, which is a check mark. No, which is an X. You can use that to answer questions. I know Michelle is going to do this throughout the presentation.
شكرا جنى. تحكي عربي؟ تمام. Who else?
كلنا بنحكي عربي.
كلنا بنحكي عربي منيح، لكن ما بعتقد بلا.
ميشيل مساء الخير. مساء الخير عميد. مساء الخير دي سي.
مرحبا رانيا.
أنا ناطرة بس ميشيل تخلص البرزنتيشن لأعطيكم فيرست هاند اكسبيرينس شو صار معنا ومع ميشيل. ثانك يو ميشيل، عن جد نحن اليوم كتير محظوظين انك انت معنا. ثانك يو دي سي، ثانك يو عميد انه صادفتوها.
Thank you for joining, Rania.
Thank you so much to all the ADS community wherever they are. أنا عندي خبر حلو أعطيكم إياه. أنا بنتي رح تتزوج بماي 13 ورح تتزوج شخص من الطائفة تبعيتكم.
Oh, welcome.
نعم. So that's big for
مبروك.
us. Thank you. Anyways, so I would... إيه صرنا قرايب.
لا بس تحكي بدك تقولي طلعنا قرايب. إيه صرنا قرايب.
قرايب. Okay, قرايب. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the قرايب والقرايب. So when you define yourself as who you are, and then when you define yourself as who are we, what would you put forward? I'll start with me. If you ask me who am I, أول شغلة, first thing that comes to mind, I will say I am Lebanese. What would you say in the chat? Although I hold 3 nationalities, I lived most of my life outside of Lebanon. I do speak 3 languages. The Arabic, I cannot say it is my strongest language since I left Lebanon very early on. And still, I identify, yeah, you see, I identify as an Arab Lebanese. Okay, I'm an Arab American, says Nada, and I'm in Lebanon. Yeah. So what does it say about us? And what does it say about the language that we speak?
And
Why?
Michelle, just to let you know, we have people from different countries as well on the call, from Jordan, from Syria.
أكيد.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, they can say, they can relate as being an Arab American, or they can relate as being a Jordanian American, or a Lebanese American, or just Syrian. I don't say I'm Lebanese American. I cannot say that. It doesn't define me. I don't think it defines me. Yeah, لبنانية أمريكية جانا. Yeah, for sure. طيب أنا بقول I say that I am Lebanese. نعم.
سوري ميشيل، بس سؤالي إليك، نحن as a first أو second generation عم تسألي لنا نحن we migrated كنا كبار، ولا عم تسألي لأولادنا؟ أنا أولادي بيقولوا لي American Lebanese، بقول لهم لا يا عمي أنكم وبيكم Lebanese، هني بيقولوا لي no نحن we're born in America we're American Lebanese.
Okay, yeah, this is what they are. This is why maybe those kids and my son could have been on this conversation. He's 30 years old, right? And he's not born in Lebanon. So this is why I was asking if everybody speaks Arabic and how the language defines who we are. So your kids define themselves as Arab American, Rania. Maybe, I don't know, do they speak fluently Arabic?
They do. وهن they define themselves أنا بقول لهم Lebanese. They associate حالهم إنه خلقانين بأمريكا. Mom, no, we belong to both, which is the right way. بس أنا بحب إني ضلني خليهم يعرفوا إنه أصلهم عربي، أصلهم لبناني، واللي هو الculturally traditional الأكل والحكي والlanguage besides مين هن. That's our culture بفتكر. So correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, sorry, I don't want to interrupt. أنت الepisode تبعك.
La. This is what I want. I want it to be really interactive. And we're going to come back to that and see how our identity is linked to our language, actually. So first language for these kids, I believe, who are born here is, I can't imagine it is Arabic. I think it's English because they have to. So, but of course, I mean, they can have a first language as Arabic and identify as American, identify as Arabs or Lebanese. Anyways, it's an open question. We are not here I cannot, there are some questions that don't have answers. And we'll see at the end of this presentation that it's all about a choice. So what would we be without languages? Can we be ourselves without languages? Can we exist without expressing our needs, our feelings? Can we evolve without language? And what is a language? Do you think that animals have a language? Yes or no? In the chat. Yes. Yes, animals have a language. Actually, it is not considered a language because they cannot use, like the bees, they use dances to describe the location of flowers they found, but they cannot talk about flowers in another country. They don't have the tools for a language. A language is composed of words that are put in sentences and that are reusable. Animals cannot do that. The apes, for instance, they are able to look or be aware of the same thing together. They can collaborate, but they cannot work together for the same goal at the same level as humans can. It has been studied, and so it is very unique to human to have a language. We are lucky to speak many languages. Among them is the Arabic language. So why should we talk about the Arabic language? Is it because we speak Arabic, or also why do we speak Arabic? Is it because we are Arabs? Is the language we speak defining our identity? Or is it because we were in that region that we started speaking Arabic? So, of course, the Arabic-speaking people are very tied to their history and their community, and the language is part of their cultural heritage. It represents a shared connection with others who speak the same language. But who were the first Arabs? Where were they? We found that the studies and the scholars found that the first Arabic-speaking people started in northern of the Arabic Peninsula. This is a bit in opposition with what people think, that the Arabic was born in the southern part of the Arabian Peninsula, in Yemen, and in the tribes here in the southern part of the Arabian Peninsula. Actually, we found scriptures and inscriptions in Syria, the first inscriptions of Arabic that resembles the most to the Arabic language today were found in northern of the Arabian Peninsula in Syria. And this is they realized that, I mean, it is well known that the Arabic is a Semitic language, the same way as Egyptian, Aramaic, Syriac, and Hebrew. It is difficult to say where it started because, of course, language evolves all the time. And some people were saying that it came from Babylon with the Amalika, but that's a myth. Another idea was that it originated in Yemen, in the southern Arabian Peninsula, as I said before. But in fact, as I said, it was it was discovered that it started in Syria or around that area, Jordan, Syria, and Palestine over there. So and Lebanon. And it appears also that the Arabic language was used by the people who lived in that region called the Arabs much before the advent of Islam and the Quran. So this is kind of interesting to know. And it appears that the Arabic language was started in the tribes before the advent of Islam in the 7th century. And it was a collection of dialects that were not totally Arabic, but that evolved into the Arabic language. And mostly those people were using the language for poetry. And the origin of the Arabic language is found in the Jahiliyyah and in the poets of the Jahiliyyah. Then it was compiled in the Quran, and then it expanded with the Arabic Futuhat, and then with the Nahda and in the 19th, 20th century. However, to go back to the written and the inscription that we found that tell us about the place where it originated. They found the Namara inscription in 328 CE. They found this one, the Avdat inscription, in the 1st and 2nd century before. CE, BC, I mean, no, CE, 1st and 2nd century CE. And this was written with some letters that we can see here that are close to the Arabic letters today. However, we know that it is close to the Arabic because when we read them, we pronounce them, they have the sounds that are very close to the Arabic language of today. And these inscriptions were mostly verses and poetry. The most famous one is the Namara inscription. This one was discovered after the Namara, but is dated before the Namara inscription, and both were created by the Nabateans, who were the people who lived in the actual Jordan area, the country of Jordan, and they were the ones who created the city of Petra, the Nabateans. And so this is where we found the first inscriptions in Arabic. And as you can see here, it talks about Imru al-Qais, who was one of the most famous poets of the Jahiliyyah at the time. So it mentions the king, Imru al-Qais bin Amr. And it was written in Nabatean Arabic, an ancient form of the Arabic language. Then there was the advent of the Islam, as I said before, and the Quran was written with Arabic letters that had their source in those inscriptions and in the evolution of the Aramaic alphabet. The Quran was written by scholars, and it was written in a way where not everybody could read it. Actually, in fact, it didn't have even dots on the letters, and not, of course, not harakat, not short vowels on the letters. And I want to show you, I don't know where it went. Sorry. So I had a picture of the Arabic. Oh, maybe it will come later. Anyways, in order, with the Futuhat, the Arabs wanted to spread, of course, their language, right? The language of the Quran, which was codified in the Quran. And they started teaching this language among all the people that where the Arabic Empire was present. The Umayyads were also one of the big proponents of the Arabic language, and Abd al-Malik, the Khalifa, made the Arabic language the official language of the whole empire. And Arabization started occurring everywhere, in Egypt, of course, in Syria, Lebanon, and Palestine. The language became the predominant language to do trade, for official documents, for of course, for culture and science and medicine. All these were written in the Arabic language. However, the people in those countries were still speaking Aramaic. So the Arabization was very gradual. And this is why we can see until now some words in our Lebanese dialect or other dialects that are close to Aramaic, or that we don't see a connection with the pure Arabic language. So we were very influenced by the Aramaic, and we are still, and this still remains in our dialects. After the 8th century and the spread of Arabic until Spain, thanks to the Futuhat al-Arabiya, we saw a little decline in the 11th century that resulted from the Crusader invasion, the Mongol and the Turkish invasion. Turkish, who with the Ottoman have, after also with the Ottoman, have ruled the region and influenced the language. All this to say that the language was always influenced by other forces and other components. In the 19th century, the Nahda started, and the Napoleonic expedition to Egypt also revived the language. Those expeditions brought the printing press to Egypt, which was a big event in helping to spread the language to the region and outside, and helped translate also a lot of Western works. And that period, the 19th century, also saw a strong missionary influence in the Middle East, like we see in Lebanon, those missionaries that created schools, and we're going to talk about this later. Also, during that time, some Arabs also immigrated to the Americas and contributed to expand the relationship and the exchange between these two countries. So, of course, all this movement got enriched the language both ways. So the Arabic language influenced other languages, as well as it got influenced by foreign languages. For instance, did you know that the word al-lugha comes from what? Can anybody tell me? Al-lugha comes from not from Arabic. لغة. Hamid, I see you thinking. لغة, logo. Logo
Greek.
from Greek.
Greek.
Logo is لغة in Greek, and لغة comes from logo, for instance. And we just Arabized this word from the Greek, and we just embraced it and incorporated it in the Arabic language with no issue whatsoever. Other also exchanges were, of course, in science, in mathematics, in astronomy. We all know the contribution of the Arabs to the Western world in those areas. Again, during the Arab, also we have to know that when the Arabs expanded their empire, they had to transform, to make the language easier so that everyone could learn it. And we will see how the efforts of simplification or making it easier were done. We're going to see that later. But all this to say that the Arabic language is a living language, and it has to stay a living language. We cannot keep it closed and hermetic to innovation, to new words, to new concepts, in order for it to keep evolving. So in terms of influencing other languages, I have here a list of words that entered in the English dictionary. One of those words is not from Arabic origin. Can you find it?
Checkmate.
Yalla. Now?
Checkmate.
Checkmate? No, checkmate, you know what it is? Checkmate is a sheikh mat. When you play chess and you're checkmate, يعني a sheikh mat.
Wow.
يعني your king died. A sheikh mat. Checkmate.
Checkmate.
Oh, wow. Right. That was a good one.
Interesting. Fanfare. شو fanfare?
أيها؟
Fanfare.
Starts with what?
Fanfare.
F? Fanfare.
Okay.
The fanfare, yeah. Honestly, I don't know this one, what it is. fan, ما بعرف. لا.
Mattress?
لا.
Or magazine.
لا, مخازن. مخازن.
مخازن. مخازن. Yeah, you're right. Massage. I'm not sure.
Genie.
Massage is Arabic. يلا, you're close.
Close to genie.
أي واحدة؟ جيني؟ لا, ولو الجن. الجن هو عربي.
ميشيل بطلت استرجع ارفع اصبعي، عقدتينا.
فلوت.
Right. أنا كعيد.
يحيى هون قدامنا بالنص مع ام.
إمام.
لا ولو.
لا.
mother. mother يحيى هون. mother, I added it. So mother is not Arabic. Is not from Arabic origin. But you see how many words, and this is only in English. Imagine in other languages, there are even more. So we are a rich language. We were influenced by other languages and other civilization, but the Arabic language, you all know, is very rich, and it did have a big influence, not only in the vocab, but also in systems like the astronomy, the mathematics, the algebra, all of this, the medicine. Anyways, so today, where are we today? Today, Arabic is the 5th most widely spoken language in the world. It's also a liturgical language, which makes it even more influential for Muslims who don't speak Arabic, masala. So we're the 5th here. There are 22 Arabic countries we know in the Arab League who have the Arabic as their first language, their official language. Did you know that also there's an African country that has the Arabic as its second official language, and I believe it is. Who do you think it would be? Nigeria? Nigeria? No? I forgot. But anyway, so the Arabic language, it's still very strong today. However, it needed to be simplified to be able to cater to the biggest number of people. So it has been revised many times in terms of its orthography, of its grammar, and of its vocabulary. For the orthograph, some people between 1938 and 1968 wanted to change the spelling of the Arabic language and make it closer to the Latin type alphabet. But this didn't pass. In terms of grammar, until now, we have this challenge between, of course, the spoken Arabic and the written Arabic. And some people want to simplify the grammar. And instead of using, masalan, kitaban and kitabain, and you know, consider the word the word when it's a subject, kitaban, and when it's an object, kitabain, they want to simplify that. And they're still disagreeing on that, and it creates a lot of challenges for the Arabic language. In terms of vocabulary, so there are academies that work on that. For the spelling, there is the Egyptian Academy. For the vocab, there's the Syrian Academy that is really trying to create a language that is accessible to the most, and by using the modern standard Arabic, and we're going to talk about this, which is not the Fusha and it's not the Ammiya. The modern standard Arabic tries to incorporate new words in the language and in order to become an open language. There is a lot of works that are being created to Arabize the language. Arabize, يعني try to include new words, either by translating it as if, مثل film or cinema. Cinema is now, you know, used in Arabic. So it entered the modern standard Arabic. Or translate words like life science would become علم الحياة. It's a pure translation of it. Or use the richness of the Arabic language that is based on the root system to create new words that are in sync with the innovation. Like when they created the siyara, okay, they had to find a name for siyara. and they went back to the root, to the verb sayr, and they created siyara, which in my opinion is very clever. And the fact that this language, the Arabic language, is a root language makes it open to a multitude of possibility. We don't need to go and use words like film or cinema, although we can, and it makes it easier for the majority to use it. But we have in our tools lots of words that we can decline in many words to express new, to define and designate new objects or new concepts. So this is where we can talk about the Arabic structure. And as I said, it is based on roots, and which is usually consisting of 3 consonants, like kataba. And from kataba, we can do katib, kutab, istaktaba, maktab, and many other words, which is very specific to the Arabic language. The spelling of the language also has been worked on. And as I was saying, look at this picture. The first Quran, the Quran was first written like that, with no dots and no short vowels. Mafi. And then the scholars developed the language, and they decided that they needed to add vowels for short vowels for people to be able to recite the Quran with the good meaning, because when you change 1 or 2 short vowels, the word can change meaning, right? I mean, I don't have an example here, but it's amala, amal, or umel. It's a different meaning. So for the people who were wanted to learn the Arabic language, they had to develop those short vowels, and they made the damme, the u, in small, and the alef, a, in short also. So they come, and the hamze, they added also a hamze that comes from the a, actually, and the shadde comes from the sh. This is how they used the existing to make the reading of the language easier. So another specificity of the Arabic language is that it is diglossic. It's a diglossia, meaning that there are 2 languages that linguists sometimes define as the low language and the high language. The low language being the dialect, and the high language being the Fusha, because it is spoken by people who are more educated, and the Amiye is spoken by people who are less, did not have access to as much education as the others, if we can put it that way. So this diglossia is a challenge for the Arabic language. For new learners, what should they learn? For the media, in what language should the media be? In Amiye or in Fusha? Have you ever listened to cartoons in Fusha? Do we like it? I don't know. It could be. How do we write it? Now there is this new trend of writing in Arabizi. You see here? Writing Arabic with Latin letters. Should we go for that? Should we accept that? Questions. There was always dialects in Arabic. Arabic started with dialects with the tribes in the antiquity, and then it evolved and it became codified, and it became they created a grammar around it and rules, etc. Why did they do this? They did this for the expansion of the language, which is good. Now, why should we keep it that way? Should we stay strict, or should we allow the street language to integrate the Arabic language, the written Arabic language, and the most commonly spoken Arabic language, so that also all the Arabic countries could communicate in a streamlined manner. So the question is, Amiya or Fusha, modern standard Arabic or Darija? What do you think is the difference between Darija and Amiya? Darija is what they call Amiya in Morocco, in the Maghreb. Sorry, what? Excuse me?
Are
they
they
isn't it the same?
Darija is what they call the Amiya in the Maghreb. Classical Arabic is the same as Fusha. Colloquial is Amiya. Vernacular is Amiya. But what about the accents? Where do we put them? Like a person from the Shuf is not gonna talk as a person from Beirut. They just have an accent. So what do we do with accents? Do we teach the foreigners every single accent? Question. Like this girl here, she's asking, تتكلم عربي? She's Masriya, of course, right? تتكلم عربي? Why the Arabic language? So this is one reason why the Arabic language is in trouble. One of the reasons. Other reasons is the education. In the Arab world, most of the schools, and I'm going to talk maybe more specifically about Lebanon. Sorry for those people who are not Lebanese, but maybe they will relate. In the 19th century, when the school system started, this part of the world was under colonization, and it was influenced by the missionaries that came from the US, France, England, and Russia. So in Lebanon, for instance, there were in we had a bunch of schools that were founded by Russians, US, the Protestant, of course, France, and England. And we had to wait until 1914 to have governmental schools, public schools. All the schools were private before. And the French mandate in Lebanon helped create this public system of school. And the problem in Lebanon is that that the public schools were institutionalized in the Constitution by the French in 1926, before we had our independence. And in that Constitution, it specified that all public schools were required to be bilingual, either French or Arabic, or English and Arabic. Hence, our students now are not totally fluent in the Arabic language. For them, it is not a first language. We have a huge discrepancy in our mother tongue, and therefore in our identity. What's happening in Lebanon in particular is that we encourage the learning of foreign languages, which is good, but to the detriment of our mother tongue. And we encourage our students to become multilingual, to be able to go and find jobs outside of Lebanon, which is also a questionable political identity, questionable political decision, I think. Now, us here in the diaspora, this is for what is going on in the Arab world. And we all see the domination of the English in almost all of the Arab world in the new generation. But us here in the diaspora, what can we do, and how much do we want our kids to keep this language and therefore their identity? I'm gonna have you listen to this short thing. Oh, you know, I cannot play it that way. Okay. What? Okay, it's not playing. So it's a short cartoon that says, so this mom is sending her girl to Lebanon, and she taught her the Arabic language. And she tells her, so هونيك بلبنان احكي عربي، انت بتعرفي تحكي عربي. And yes, because she taught her, she thought she did a good job, but the girl went to Lebanon and she was very shy to speak Arabic. So we are confronted with this reality where we try to give the most that we can to our kids and to maintain this language and culture and identity. I'm going to give you some tips that from my experience work in a bit, but I want to also say on an optimistic note that the future of the Arabic language looks good. First, we had the World Cup in Qatar that really put the Arabic language on another level, as well as the Arabs in general. Then there are many organizations that are working on strengthening the Arabic language and streamlining it, like the work on a mu'jam, a huge dictionary of the Arabic language history. So they are gathering information on every word in the Arabic language and analyzing its history. Where did it come from? How it evolved? And this is going to be of great help to all the learners of the Arabic language. So, and these are only two examples, but there are a lot of them, like the institutions in Egypt, the ones that I touched base on before in Syria, well, and others. Even in the Maghreb, they're working also on institutionalizing an easier Arabic language. Coming back to us, how can we help? What can we do?
Michelle, I'm sorry
Yes.
to interrupt. Do you mind going to presentation mode so it can be a bit bigger?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, first, okay, let me, the future of the Arabic language.
We can't hear it.
No, you can't? Oh, shit.
No,
Okay.
because when you share your screen, you should check the box that says share sound. So if you want, you can stop sharing.
Wait.
And start sharing again.
Okay, here we go. And do you know who this is? Do you know who are these kids? These kids are Ronaldo's kids. Ronaldo, who after the World Cup was asked to come and play for the Saudi team, and his kids in 3 months learned the Arabic language. This is a huge publicity for the Arabic language. It was all over the social media. So I am hopeful that the Arabic language is gonna pick up, and it's gonna see a new era of success. Now back to us. What can we do? We can. How can we learn Arabic today, or offer our kids to learn Arabic today? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Where's Sorry. Where is it? Here. Yeah. So learning Arabic today, formal classes. Yeah, there are centers and language schools that provide Arabic classes, online learning, which I really recommend. You can learn through apps, through interactive lessons, through one-on-one tutoring. There are immersion programs, which are really great also for kids to send to during the holidays and summer vacation, private tutoring at home, and self-study. So there are resources all over the place, but the challenge is to know, again, I mean, I have an idea, but some people always ask themselves if they should teach their kids Ammiye or Fusha, or both. Anyways. Also, what we can do is promote the Arabic language abroad and the culture, provide educational programs, organize cultural events, use media such as film, television, encourage trade and business with the Arabic-speaking countries, exchange programs, and support the government. The American government, the US government, has lots of funds and grants to promote the foreign languages, including the Arabic language. So, and these funds are available. Then we can connect our kids to their roots by encouraging language acquisition, celebrating cultural tradition. I'm sure all of us do that for sure. The one thing that we don't do enough is tell stories and share history. Involve the elder, involve teta wujuddu. Let them tell their stories in whatever language they want. But this is very important, I find. Then foster a sense of community like ADS does, and other community organizations as well. And embrace, let them be proud of who they are, encourage them to say out loud who they are, where they come from, and thus, creating awareness in the society around them about our part of the world, our history, our culture, and our language. So this is what I would suggest. Now, about learning Arabic, is it difficult to learn Arabic? What do you think? Yes or no? Difficult to learn the Arabic language?
Yes.
No.
Ha, bravo, no. Who said no? Yes, I agree.
Nada Sharafuddin.
I love it because the myth is, and even the US Foreign Service says that Arabic is in category 5. Yani one of the most difficult to learn. Hey, the Foreign Service says that. And they say you will need 2,200 hours or 88 weeks of study to master Arabic fluency. Hala, this is not for heritage people. We are heritage. Our kids are heritage kids because they have been exposed to the Arabic language, and for them it will be easier. But I think it is not that difficult because the Arabic alphabet, first of all, we have an alphabet, unlike the Mandarin. Second, the Arabic alphabet is almost an abjad. So I discovered that why the Arabic alphabet is an abjad. They say it's an abjad for languages that do not have vowels. Well, Arabic is a semi-abjad because it has 3 letters that are consonants, but that are also used as vowel. So we are an abjad, but not quite an abjad. So when we say, تعلم الأبجدية يا ابني, it's almost an abjadiyya, not a real abjadiyya. Now, it could be difficult because of pronunciation, but that can be worked on, right? It could be difficult because it's written from right to left. The letters are always connected. Did you know there are no capital letters in Arabic? And
yeah, good point.
Right? And only 3 long vowels. So I agree with you, Nada. It's not difficult. You just need to put the time and effort and have reasonable expectations. And learning
Michelle,
the Arabic.
My son may tell you otherwise.
Your son may tell you, yeah. Well, it's, your son at his age, I think it's about motivation. Because when adults really want to learn, they just, they put their head in it and they learn very quickly, at least to read and write.
Michelle, I mentioned, I answered no for one reason. Like 1 year ago, I saw a program on TV. I don't know if you heard about it. It's called Iqra, sponsored by the United Arab Emirates by Sheikh Zayed Al Maktoub. So he introduced a program where they encourage different schools in the Arab world participate in it, where the students are required to read like a large number of books in Arabic. And then they compete, each school will pick the winner, and each country then, based on competitions within each country, the best student in the Arabic language, they rise from one level to a level, from their school to the region to the nation, and then they compete against each other in the Arab world. So when they reached the highest level of the competition in the United Arab Emirates, I was shocked with the performance of the kids, like kids from all ages. They would give them questions to write a short essay in a very short period, or to change the ending of an essay, or to write a poem. And you find those kids working with so much ease, and they're so eloquent in the language and no grammatical errors. And all of this was reached just because of reading, that reading has been integrated in the curriculum with great emphasis. So just those kids, by reading so much Arabic novels, Arabic books, that they've reached that level of excellency, like across all age groups. And you will see in the competition, and like somebody 9 years old able to compete with a kid that's 15 years old or 17 years old and performing beautifully. So it was like very eye-opening that how much reading has been undermined in our school curriculum in the Arab world. Another thing, Ms. Tager, I would like to mention, once I attended a lecture by Ms. May Rihani. She was talking about her book, Cultures Without Borders. So I read the book before attending her book discussion. And in one of the chapters, she talks about the French schools in Lebanon. I think Louis Wegman, if I'm not mistaken, or at least one of the French schools in Beirut, how the French undermined the Arabic language. So, for example, in like divide and conquer, one of the ways to be able to comfortably conquer someone, to occupy a country and have the population to be passive and non-rebellant, is to undermine their culture and their language. And this is what they did, the French in Lebanon. For example, they used to tell the kids, you're not allowed, she mentions it in her book, that they would tell the kids, you are not allowed to speak the Arabic language at school. So they forced them to speak French at school, but they did not stop there. So they would tell them, you speak Arabic with the maids. So look at the psychological war, and look at this psychological war and I think till now we have this remnant of this psychological aspect where Lebanese feel as if they're more progressive, they're more modern or more sophisticated if they speak the French language or they speak in English versus the Arabic language. So till now, we cannot get out of this inferiority complex to the West, though the Arabs were the ones to bring about the advent of the Renaissance in Europe. So those are things to think about and to be aware of, all the political issues in the region, how the remnants of all of this, they undermined all our school system. And then also we had the Turks, the Ottomans. Also the Ottomans played a big role, and like they occupied us like 400, 500 years, I don't know. So
400, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the Quran. It's written in Arabic and required to be read in Arabic. So it helped to a great extent preserving the language through years of occupation.
Correct. And
مساء الخير، بيوصل هالمكتوب على واشنطن قبل 3 أسابيع؟
إن شاء الله يا بنتي.
شو يعني جدو إن شاء الله؟ يعني إن شاء الله نعم أو إن شاء الله لا؟
Inshallah, Nada. Inshallah. Inshallah is the most used Arabic word in the Arabic language. Inshallah. It was, stated, defined as the most used Arabic word. Inshallah. Tab inshallah. Inshallah is not precise, okay? Maybe the Arabic language needs to be more, needs an uplift also. Yes, we have been dominated. Yes, we have been, the language has been completely discredited. Yes, we have been invaded by Ottomans and French and English and all of these people. And today we have the bulldozer of the English language that is, dominating everywhere, the English. However, if we as parents want to transmit this language to our kids, whether abroad or in Lebanon, why don't we read to them? You said reading is super important. Now, some will say, we don't have nice books, nice stories, but there is now in Lebanon and in Jordan and elsewhere a huge publishing effort to publish nice modern books. There is an organization in Saudi Arabia called Alefb 21, and I think they work with this Aqra competition to select the best books to read, storybooks, and also they organize them by grade level, and they rate them. So there are a lot of efforts being done. The problem, I think, is that these efforts are not communicated very well. And there will always be a undermining for the Arabic language. Like, for instance, in my opinion, talking about this problem between the diglossia problem between Ammiye and modern standard Arabic is not meant to unify the Arabs around one language. Now there is a huge movement in the Arabic, the Gulf, where they are pushing to use the modern standard Arabic as a spoken language. What do you guys think about that? يعني من المفروض انه هلا انه الان نتكلم باللغه العربيه الوسط اللي اسمها لغه الميديا ولغه الصحافه والتلفزيون. هل هذا الشيء ممكن يصير ويوحد اللغه العربيه بكل البلاد العربيه؟ ممكن.
هلا it's not an impossible mission انه مثلا الناس اللي بيفوتوا بالجورناليزم بالميديا they do it they're comfortable flipping between both modes of communication, and it's the only unifying language across the Arab world. So people in specific positions, they have to use it academically. Anything with literature, we have that ability. I don't think it's an issue. Every Arabic-speaking person has the ability to adapt between both.
That is a strength, yes. That is a huge strength among a big majority of Arabs, except for those who have not the chance to go to school, and there are many of them in a country like Egypt, masala, or in the remote areas in some countries. They don't get to have this education that teaches them the modern standard Arabic, so they are bound to speak their Ammiye, their dialect, and therefore they cannot understand other people. But should we keep the Ammiye? In my opinion, we should keep the Ammiye as well, because it reflects also a part of our identity, the Ammiye. It's a difficult balancing act. It's very difficult. But it is our duty, I think, to keep this language alive and keep using it and transmitting it to the new generation. And just, to be able to tell our own narrative with our own words and not have foreigners come and talk about the Arab world in their perspective, it is very important.
Absolutely.
And we're going nowhere.
Michelle,
sorry, we are in the Arab world, we are the part of the world that has the biggest the biggest population that is under 20 years old. So there's hope. Yes.
So Michelle, a quick question. I'm not sure if you're done with your slide, but I do have a question about the current challenges we have here in the U.S. with our kids. I mentioned my son as an example, but I'm sure others have a similar, challenge. In your professional opinion, and I know you do this for a living through the Alefb and
يا ريت for a living, yeah, as a mission.
as a mission, you're right. Like, is there any techniques or ideas you can share with us that could help us work with our kids, for example, to get them, encouraged to speak the language? Is online classes a new thing right now? Does it work? Does it not work? Like, what are the success stories you've seen
100%. I was going to write a slide on this. I didn't have time. Yes, of course. So first thing, speak to your kids بالعربي. Speak with them بالعربي. I'm not saying all the time. Find 5 minutes, 10 minutes during the day. At the same time, when you drop them to school, when you pick them up from school, when you have dinner, when you have bath time, any time, just choose a time. And this is the بالعربي time. ما في. أنت احكي عربي. ما تطلب منه يجاوبك بالعربي. إذا ما جاوبك, it's okay. وفي تكنيكس يعني إنه وما تعمل له بلاك ميل. إذا ما جاوبتني ما راح تروح على السوكر مثلا. لا، ما تخوفوا بالعربي. العربي should be a nice place to be. A story مثلا story time. جيب الكتاب، ما تقري له الكتاب بالنحوي إذا فكرك إنه ما راح يفهم. هو لقاله النحوي أو العامية نفس الشيء. إن سمع الفصحى أو سمع العامية لقاله تركي هذا أو whatever it is. It's not comprehensible. So show the pictures, explain بالعربي, do not translate, find good books, do not translate لأنه بتخلي له دماغه يتكسلن. ما بيعود يسمع لك بالعربي، بيصير بس عم ناطر إنك تعمل translation. لا، do not translate. And keep going until the end of the book. And then he will, if it's a nice book, he will love it and he will understand it by the pictures, And then اسأل سؤال اثنين بالعربي يعني to engage him. That's another one to do. Yes, Rania.
بدي كنت بس أقول لك وهاي ستوري أنا I shared it معك ميشيل، بس حبش الكل يسمعوها. بالنسبة بتحكيهم أنت وهن ما يفهموا أو يردوا عليك، ونحن عن جد كتير لغتنا ما بدي أقول صعبة، بدي أقول يونيك. لأنه أنا وقتها كنت درس أولادي مثلا تجينا جملة بالنحوي هلأ بده يضحك الهرة تحت السرير، يطلعوا الأولاد يقروا الكلمات لأنه بيعرفوا يركبوا الأحرف. بس أشرح لهم إنه لبسيني تحت التخت، يقولوا لي طب ليه مش كاتبين لبسيني تحت التخت؟ هلا تصديقا لكلامك انه ال spoken language different than the written language او هي grammatically more challenge. فهيدا التشالنج يمكن كلنا عم نشوفه بنواجهه مع اولادنا، وما بعرف اذا الاهالي او اللي بيعلم عربي بيوافقني هالفكره.
انا بفتكر انه لازم نعلمه، لازم نحكيهم يعني بطريقه، لانه مش عايشين هن ببلاد عربي. مزبوط. اللغه العربيه اللي بيسمعوها هي بس منا نحن أهلهم. فهاللغة هاي اللي بنستعملها وهالكلمات لازم تكون، إذا بدنا إياهم يقروا شي يوم ويفهموا يلي عم بيقروا، قريبة أكتر شي من اللغة الفصحى. يعني بدل ما تقولي لهم البسينة قولي لهم الهرة، مش الحال يعني. وبدل ما تقولي لهم التخت قولي لهم السرير. بس هلا التخت هي موجودة بالمعجم العربي، فهلا صار في قصص كتير عم تستعمل هالكلمات هاي مثل تخت، مثل كلمات أقرب من العامية، ونحن نتقرب شوي من الفصحى، منوصل لميدل جراوند اللي هو اسمه المودرن ستاندرد أرابيك، وهون بنتفق كلنا على نفس الشغلة. بس هلا الاكسنت ما راح تتغير، ومعلش this is good mind work, good شو بيسموه دماغ، انه بيشغلوا دماغهم شوي. لازم يعرفوا كمان الاشياء بكونتكست، لازم يشغلوا هذا الكونتكست سكيل. عميد في
I see Amal's hand up. أمال عندك
إيه
سؤال؟
ميشيل، أنا بس تصديقا لكلامك إنه عن جد الأهل هن الأساس يحكوا مع أولادهم بالبيت. أنا بعرف من حالي، أنا وزوجي على طول بنحكي عربي، كنا من وقت ما خلق مايكل لحين ننزل على لبنان ونجي. يعني فات دايكير يحكوا إنجليزي، صار يحكي إنجليزي ما يحكي عربي. نحن ضلينا نحكي عربي. وقت نزلنا بعد فترة على لبنان فاجأني بالكلمات اللي لقطها منا بالعربي، وما حكى ولا كلمة إنجليزي بلبنان. يعني عن جد الأهل كتير مهم إنه يحكوا مع أولادهم باللغة العربية بالبيت. يعني
amazing. هلا في عندك أهل مثل أنا، يلي أنا كانت لغتي العربية المحكية منا كتير قوية. أنا لغتي العربية المكتوبة من المدرسة، وأنا opposite to what someone said that the French school system doesn't insist on Arabic. I went to a French private school in Lebanon, and we had a wonderful Arabic program, and we were all very good in Arabic. Anyways, so أنا كنت حمل القاموس وماشية ورا ابني تلاقي الكلمة بالعربي وقدر يعني مكعبات، كيف بتقولي إنه هدول المكعبات، حط مكعب فوق المكعب، إنه ما بعرف it's complicated. بس we have to let go عميد. يعني don't be stressed out. Speak like you would speak if you were in Lebanon. معلش إذا دخلت كم كلمة أجنبي بالقصة it's okay. بالعكس هيك بيصير يفهم الكونتكست.
مزبوط.
ما نكون كتير، أنا كنت كتير strict يعني it wasn't very productive. It's better to let go, just speak the way you want to speak.
ما بتحس انه رح تتفاجئ اذا ضليتكم بالبيت تحكون عربي. انت بتتفاجئ وقت ينزلوا على لبنان لأ ما حدا بيحكيون الا بالعربي، بحسوا انه ما في حدا عم بيحكيون بالانجليزي، بيضطروا يحكوا اللي بقلبهم بيحكوه، بيصيروا يحكوا اللي بيعرفوهم. لو شوي صار في عندهم كلمات بس انه بيكونوا لاقطين كتير من البيت.
كنت تقري له كمان؟ كنت تقري لهم أمل؟
لا الصراحة أبداً. كانت ستهم يعني بلا ستهم من عشية هيك تقري له بالعربي بالحكمة. يعني كانت كتير. وكمان كانت مرت عمي معي مساعدتني إنه على طول تحكي بالعربي كمان. بس إنه كله بالعربي بالبيت. يعني هو يحكينا بالإنجليزي نحن نرد عليه بالعربي، هو يفهم علينا نحن وقت نحكي بالعربي. بس ما كان يحكي إلا لنزل على لبنان قال لي ماما أنا ما بدي أحكي ولا كلمة إنجليزي لأنه بعرف ما بيحكوا عربي بلبنان، وصار ومشى حاله وما حتى ما عنده أكسنت. يعني بتتفاجئي فيه. البيت كتير أهم من أي شيء. البيت
كتير مهم. إذا ممكن، إذا بيصير يعني نحن بيجينا مثلا طلاب كتير أمهم أمريكية وبيهم لبناني أو عربي يعني مش دايما محظوظين الأهالي إنه يكونوا اثنيناتهم يحكوا عربي، أو يكون في تيتا وجده، أو يكون في حدا من العائلة. It's tough. So I think the idea is also to take them to the country, that if you can, that's another one. When they are there, I know that a lot of people tend to speak to them in their English, in their language, which they think they will understand better. So register them in activities مع ناس local people. I mean like soccer club or نوادي عرب بيحكوا عربي فيها، هونيك منيح كمان. yeah, speak to them.
Yeah. So my son had a good experience taking the online Arabic classes that Alefb offers. I felt like that conversational Arabic is easier for him to pick up, and it was more realistic. Just for the sake of others who don't know about Alefb, Michelle, you want to give a quick
I'm gonna let Rania do it. Rania, you said you wanted to share something about what we did together. رانيا اختفت. So anyway, Alefb is a non-profit organization that teaches Arabic online to all levels and all ages
Can
from
I share
anywhere in
something?
the world. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my name Ghada Hassan. أنا from Chicago, Illinois. كمان أنا أولادي صاروا كبار عندي 18, 23 and 26. بس لما كانوا صغار growing up كمان كان عندنا policy بالبيت أنا وزوجي إنه من ليميت الحكي الإنجليش بالبيت. على طول نحكي معهم عربي لأنه الإنجليش اعتبرنا إنه بالمدرسة عم بيحكوا enough إنجليش بالمدرسة. طبعا بيعملوا الهوم وورك وبالبيت إنجليش بنحكي معهم ليخلصوا الهوم وورك، بس نحن وياهم الكوميونيكيشن عربي وهن يحكوا لنا انجلش، نجرب نرد عليهم بالعربي وعطونا نحكي. بس لما ينزلوا على لبنان صاروا ما يستصعبوا انه كوميونيكيت مع ستهم جدهم ومع عمومهم واخوالهم وولاد عمهم الكازنز، بطلوا يستصعبوا لانه تعودوا على حكينا، نحن تعودوا على نحن شو عم نحكي معهم، يعني اوريدي معودين على اللانجويج. واصحابنا هون كمان عندهم تقريبا the same policy انه اولادهم بيحكوا عربي او بيفهموا على القليل انه عربي، فعلى طول عم معودين على اللانجويج. جربنا نحن هون من زمان بشيكاغو انه نعمل عربي سكول، فكانوا يروحوا عليها بعدين تسكرت. فأولادي بس صار ابني الكبير بالهاي سكول أخذنا قرار أنا وزوجي نزلنا 2 سنين قعدنا بلبنان لنعودهم على الكالتشر وعلى التراديشنز بلبنان. فبقى قبل ما يبلش ابني بالهاي سكول ابني الكبير، فأخذ زوجي قرار قال لي شو رأيك تنزلي تقعدي أنت وياهم 2 سنين بلبنان، ومن ناحية بتقربوا من الأهل تحت وبتعودوا شوي على العادات والتقاليد قبل ما يبلش جامعة هون، ومنه إنه ثلاثتهم تيك هالأدفانج وبيرجعوا لهون. أخذنا هالقرار ونزلنا و it was really يعني good decision يعني. We don't regret it at all. وحتى هن بيعتبروا إنه هذا good decision. بالأول طبعاً they struggled، بس أول 4-5 أشهر حطيتهم أنا بالجامعة الوطنية بعلاي، حطيتهم American system. بعدين ابني تحدى حاله وتحدى الإدارة هونيك، وتاني سنة قلب أخذ اللبنانيز سيستم الإنجليش منهم، يعني الفيزيكس الكيمستري الماث أخذوا باللبنانيز سيستم طبعا الإنجليش. وكمان تفوق عليهم، نعتبر إنه أنا لو أنا جاي من أمريكا I can be باللبنانيز سيستم. وبس أخذ قرار جوزي إنه نرجع لهون ليرجع يعمل آخر 2 سنين هون، يعتبروا إنه لما نرجع إنه نحن مبسوطين هون وفينا نكفي هون، بس إنه اعتبرنا الجامعات هون عنده more opportunity يكفي هون ورجعنا لهون. بس كسبوا اللغة أكتر وتعودوا على لغة وصاروا يحكوا عربي كتير منيح. بس المقصد إنه كتير مهم إنه ينحكى مع الأولاد من هن وصغار بالبيت عربي، كتير 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 مهم. حتى لو نحن جربنا إن نحن حطيناهم بلبنان كان إنه بلشوا يعرفوا يقروا ويكتبوا عربي، هلأ قد كان كونكت الأحرف. إذا بعطيهم وقت بيقدروا يقروا الكلمة، وأنا بضلني بحاول معهم إنه جربوا ضلوا على القليلة تقروا كلمات. لو إذا بضلني بقولهم بالجامعة إذا بتقدروا تاخدوا صفوف العربي خدوهم، لأنه بعض الجامعات بتعطي صفوف عربي.
في كتير جامعات بتعطي صفوف عربي، وفي حتى AP عربي بفرجينيا بيتاخد بالهاي سكول AP عربي. إذا أولادكم عم بيتعلموا عربي بيقدروا ياخدوا AP بالهاي سكول تيفوتوا على الجامعة. it gives them credits يعني. It's good.
Yeah, I know. ابني الكبير أخذ صفين عربي بالجامعة، وبنتي أخذت بعتقد صف واحد عربي بالجامعة. بس إنه كحكي الحمد لله بيحكوا كتير منيح وبيفهموا أغلب يعني most الكلمات المحكية.
بس هن محظوظين، يعني محظوظين لأنه أهلهم 2 بيحكوا عربي، وكمان اجتهم فرصة يروحوا يعيشوا بالبلاد هنيك. بس في كتير ناس منهم بهال
بس إنه على قد ما في الواحد إنه اللي بيقدر يحكي مع الأولاد من هنا وصغار عربي بالبيت كتير تضل يعني ما تنسى. أنا أقصد كلهم لأولادي إذا نحن موجودين عملنا معكم هيك، بليز اعملوا هيك مع أولادكم بالمستقبل. إن هي بتضل هي قادرين نخليها معنا من لبنان
إن شاء الله إن شاء الله مثل ما قالت البنت إن شاء الله
إن شاء الله يا رب
إن شاء الله لأنه صعب we lose it from generation to generation. This is why organizations like ADS, organizations like Alefb are here to help also. يعني we need this community to make it happen. أهل لوحدهم إنه صعب. أنتوا عافيكم يعني برافو اللي عملتوه بس مش الكل بنفس الحالة. So
Michelle, بترجع تخبرينا شوي عن Alefb. I think you have a great platform that others could benefit from on this topic. تعطينا شوي quick overview on Alefb.
على السريع نحن بلشنا أنا بلشت أسست Alefb بباريس as a non-profit organization لأنه إجاني أول ولد وكان بدي أعلمه عربي وما حسيت إنه ما في أعلمه أنا لوحدي. فعملنا on-site in-person classes in Paris. Then I came to Washington, D.C. and I created another non-profit organization, Alefb.org. And we started doing also classes during the weekend and after school for kids. And then we worked with ADS, of course, and we had like good discounts for all the members of the ADS. We had huge groups of ADS kids who came to our classes, and we were very happy there. Now some of them are graduated and they still send testimonials about their experience with Alefb. We also worked with ADS in Los Angeles with Rania. We went and we trained her teachers because they had an Arabic school at ADS. We trained their teachers on new methodologies because we teach the Arabic the fun way, in a playful way, on a project-based, not like in the Jamia or other instances, so we were like using a more modern and more close to what our kids here in the US are used to have. So we train their teachers to using our online component, which we developed from a grant from Qatar Foundation. It's called Dunya fi Lubnan, and it's free for any one of you to use with their kids. It's a very nice story with drills. It's the story of Dunya, who goes to Lebanon and she struggles because she can't speak Arabic, and at the end there's a happy ending. And there are drills, drag and drop. So go to alefb.org, enter into play and learn, and ask for a password. It's free. The system sends you a password and you can get into that and work with your children or have fun. I never say work. Have fun with your kids. Also, another thing is that parents should show interest in what their kids are doing in everything. And when they take Arabic classes now with Alefb online, because now we moved all of our classes online, and we are hiring teachers from Lebanon to create job opportunities there. And this is a mission that I really like because we are being able to help a number of young people in Lebanon. We train them to be Alefb teachers, which is very specific. It's a one-on-one tutoring class anytime that you want, for any age, from anywhere, Chicago, Australia. If you have friends that you know who want to teach their kids Arabic, tell them about alefb.org. And we enter into Zoom sessions with our learners. They could be adults also as well. We have a family with 2 kids and the mom. All of them are taking classes online with us. And And they create a multimedia project after a few hours of learning. And we have packages of 5 hours, 10 hours, and 40 hours. And as I promised Amit, if you are coming from ADS, you can benefit from a 20% discount on the packages. That's it. You will help your kids. It's Arabic for good. They will learn Arabic for good. You will do good by teaching them Arabic, because you will hire, we will hire people in Lebanon, thanks to you. So more students, more teachers hired, and more Arabic spoken all over the world.
Great. Thank you, Michelle. I see Ranya's hand is up.
Rania, you came back?
Add something?
I do apologize. كنت بعدني شو مخلصة شغلي كنت عم بسمع وجاي بس مثل ما حكيت ميشيل وقالت إنه السيشن اللي عملناهم بلوس أنجلوس بالمدرسة العربية it was an amazing training. حرام نزلت من سان فرانسيسكو نزلت على لوس أنجلوس. We did a 3 days workshop. نحن we upgraded المدرسة للابتوب بكل كلاس روم وبروجيكتور. Unbelievable experience, I would say. للتلاميذ they were engaged. We project the lessons على السمارت بورد بالكلاس روم. It was an interactive session. They will never get bored. بيطلعوا they wanted, they were competing مين بده يحكي. They were competing مين بده يطلع engaged. Describing the images قدامهم, challenging themselves. So I absolutely recommend Alefb to everybody بده يتعلم من الادلت. I had to use it مع my adult students as well. وكلهم they were very happy, satisfied. At the end of the session they will give you a structure complete sentence بالعربي وهن زي challenge وبيصالحوا لبعض. يعني it's one and amazing. I don't know sister ريما إذا هي معنا and if you want to apply this بريتشموند مطرح ما أنت مسؤولة عنهم. So give it a try. بفتكر ألف it's on a mission for better عربي لأنه نحن مش ببلاد الأم. فبفتكر the system that they're using, it's amazing. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for everything you do and for all your help every time نحن we connect. And she's always ready to give discounts, especially to the Druze community. Thank you, Michelle.
وهلا أكثر من قبل. هلا
ألف مبروك.
No, Michelle has been a friend of the community and the ADS for quite some time, and her support and services and everything that she offers is very much appreciated. So shukran, Michelle, for everything you do. And I know I'm looking at the time, we're already over 9 o'clock. Tanya, go ahead.
Amit,
go ahead.
Can I speak a little bit?
Go ahead.
I wanna thank Michelle for having the ADS kids. I think the people who have kids, especially young kids, because my kids went to that school and they doing fantastic. I mean, yeah, we speak Arabic at the house, but the only learn from me is the bad language. They learned from Michelle how to speak good Arabic. And whenever they went to Lebanon, I was very impressed how they learned how to, I mean, my son arrived, he just read Matar Rafiq al-Hariri al-Duwali. I mean, to me, it was a shock because I didn't pay attention how alphabet was so good. So my hat to her, and please, anybody who has little kids, send them to school. It's good to talk at home, but send them to school.
يس لأنه كمان بنتطرق لمواضيع ما بتتطرقوا عليها بالبيت. يعني أنتم بالبيت kitchen Arabic اسمه plus the stories of course and plus the daily activities. نحن بنعطيهم projects على أشياء مثل ما بعرف environmental issues for kids who are 10 years and up, or we can talk about I don't know يعني many themes and topics that we don't usually talk about at home. So yeah, it's interesting. You can try it.
Very good. All right.
I like the kitchen Arabic. حلوة هاي الكيتشن.
Hey, بيسموها هيك. إيه يعني the Italian who are originally from Italy, they speak kitchen Italian. ما بيعرفوا يحكوا أكتر من هيك.
هلا خلص العشاء وهلا خلص الغداء.
ايه وتعوا بدك تاكل وبيجونا بيعرفوا هالاشياء. بدي تبوله وبحب الحمص، بس اكثر من هيك ما في يعني انه. بس I trust that some parents really go overboard to teach their kids Arabic, and عن جد my hats off to them, really bravo, لأنه it's not easy. It's not easy. That's why we are here to help.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for
I'm looking at the time.
wonderful lecture.
Thank you,
No,
thank you,
I know,
Amit.
Michelle, you put a lot of time into this. I know, to put the presentation together. We want to thank you for your time to come and accept our invitation to come speak. We really appreciate it. That was a great presentation. وإن شاء الله الجميع يعني يكون found this useful and helpful and beneficial. Again, thank you for everybody who attended. Thank you again, Michelle. وإن شاء الله بنضلنا على اتصال. If anybody would like to reach out to Michelle directly, I think she put a website على chat. It's alefb.org. And if you need to contact her or you don't have her information, feel free to reach out to us, to the board, ADS board, and we're happy to connect you. All right, with that, I would say, Michelle, شكرا كمان مرة. شكرا للجميع لحضوركم و have a good night.
Have a great evening.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for this wonderful presentation.
Thank you لألكم وإن شاء الله we keep in touch for sure. Bye. مع السلامة.
Absolutely.
الله معكم.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.